What is up, Earthnoids, Space Noids, and Jovians? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are concluding Mobile Suit Crossbone Gundam Ghost. Last time, Quo piloted the Grego, which is an all-in-one circus mobile suit, but he was killed by Quo. Only Roko was able to escape and help the space pirates. Curtis utilized the colonies to create a networked solar system, but the Midas cut his mobile suit in half. This time, Font goes head-to-head with Kizo. Roko uses an old mobile suit from the Jupiter invasion, and Font and Bell do a little bit of time traveling. So let's conclude this. Everyone looks on as the Midas tears through XO, but he ejects in the core fighter, which is half destroyed. Jack Friday rushes in to save the core fighter while Bob blocks the Midas. The Mons on a floor's engine kicks into gear. They just need to hold off for a little longer. The Midas destroys Bob's Bataya hard roller. While bleeding out, he tells Font to chase after the Midas and to not worry about them. Both mobile suits begin pursuing the Manzana floor. The people on the ship begin evacuating. The Chaosrail's bits are still active and begin attacking the mothership. Bell and Mermaid begin running, but the Midas tears open the hull. Mermaid saves Bell from almost flying out of the ship. As birdline bubbles seal the hole, Kizo enters. He tells them to surrender and slices off a guy's hand. Mermaid grabs a knife and runs towards him, but don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Mermaid is shot. Maria El Tamo tells Kizo that she is the one she wants. One of the crew members blabs and gives away the fact that she is Tetenet Dogati's daughter. Kizo wants them to turn the ship around, but it is programmed to head into the sun. He wants to ram this into Angel Halo. Font can sense Bell is in danger. Bill is beat up but still alive. Curtis isn't responding to Jack. They are all exhausted from handling the space virus. The Zanskare mothership can't handle the radiation and blows up. It seems the solar system was successful, but none of that will matter if they can't stop the Manzana floor. The gang thinks that they have lost, but Roka tells them to go after the ship. She says they could use her resources. Everyone on her team is dead, so she now has a ship. On the circus mothership, Bob and Curtis are rushed to the medbay. Curtis is still unconscious. Bill says to Font to tell Curtis that he leaves Jupiter in his hands. Bob closes his eyes, and he never opens them again. Font says they tried hard to make it this far, but even so, man, he totally messed up those Linkin Park lyrics. Roka is telling the circus crew to hustle while Quo Gray is out on a secret mission. They wonder if it is okay to say that, considering he is dead. It isn't really a lie. Quo planned things out methodically, and was so secretive that she isn't so sure that they aren't playing into his hands. Roka still has faith in him. Also, he pays them well, so these people don't ask too many questions. Roka takes off her mask, revealing a scar. An old client requested to take a knife to her face for a large sum of money. She did this during a time of great desperation, it seems. This politely nods at the fact that she was a prostitute, and Quo Gray paid to pull her out. Wait, let me phrase that better. And Quo Gray paid to get her out of whatever brothel she came out of. She is following his orders. The girls are, but he's dead. Shut up, dude, she's having a moment. Imagine like one of those intense moments with Marita Cruz, but then someone off camera goes, "Yeah, but you're a clone." Font thinks they found a way to catch up to the Manzana floor. Kizo is slingshotting the ship around the moon, then around Earth, where it will converge with Angel Halo. He has done the calculations, and the only way to slow down without missing their target is to slow down right before it swings around Earth. This will be their moment to catch up. At least one of the Midas sensors is broken, and the Chaosrail is destroyed. Font has access to the Manzana floor cameras. The Chaosrail is still functioning. Font thinks that he has figured out how the Midas Flash Touch works. He relates it to a QR code in the old days, but instead of an image, it uses a Morse code-like pattern to gain remote access via lights. He knows that Curtis's infrared sensors are converted to sound, and Jack didn't have his infrared turned on, so Font believes the virus didn't work properly. Probably lost some bits in the transfer. They are reinstalling the OS on XO and the Desvis. But Doom mentions this doesn't stop them from doing it again. Jack and Font are going to handle it on their own. Trace says that he can't. He won't make it out alive, but he has to try. She says, "What if I say I love you? Would that change your mind?" And he's like, nah. He says that Belle is calling for him. What, pursuing someone age appropriate instead of a cougar right in front of you? Phew, kids these days. She hugs him and she makes her leave. Roka mentions to Font that the booster will help them catch up to Manzana floor, but she also has something else in the hangar. It happens to be a Divinidad. These were used by Crux Dogati's biobrains. She says that there were originally 9 biocomputers, but there were more Divinidads than there were computers to control it. Also, there are no nukes on this unit. All this for Roka to say, "I'm going to pilot this bitch. This is mine. I just wanted to show it off." She will use this to handle the Chaosrail, while Font and Jack handle Kizo. The Manzana floor will reach Angel Halo in 1 hour. They have 29 units on their end. Bell and the remaining Manzana floor crew refuse to cooperate. He addresses his sad army. That's it? They are all terrified but unwilling to speak up to Kizo. All except one person that goes, "Hey man, I think we should return to Zanskare." Kizo casually shoots him. He now only has 28 pilots. Maria El Tamo is trying to get Bell to do a Maria cosplay, but she says she isn't going to be their Shakti. Kagari has a Shakti, and Kizo isn't going to let him one-up him. Maria isn't a strong enough new type and wanted her daughter to be the new Maria, but she can't have children. As their heir to Jupiter, she is destined to rule, so she is the perfect substitute daughter. They are treating Bell like a puppy found in the street. "You're mine now." Bell says she won't rule over anyone. Kizo goes on a diatribe about survival of the fittest and how living in space amplifies this mindset. Bell says that's nonsense. Just look at Angel's Call and its sledgification process. Humans are weak. They can't handle that. Take off your helmet in space. Oh, you don't want to? Didn't think so. It is humanity working together that makes them strong. Kizo does to Bell what Caecilia did to little Casseval. It's not a spanking, but it's not exactly a bad touch. It's definitely something though. She says that Font is coming for him. That is when they get a signal of targets approaching them. They have 37 minutes until they make contact with Angel Halo. With Ghost Gundam and Desvis is a shuttle. The shuttle breaks open, revealing Divinidad. The Divinidad fights the Chaosarel while Jack and Font fight Kizo. Kizo uses the Midas Touch Flash on the mobile suits, but it doesn't work. They can still move. However, Harado is acting a little wonky. Font is able to dodge an attack by Kizo. He begins talking fast. His mind is starting to overheat once again. Kizo sees a change in Font. The Divinidad's feather funnels are able to keep up and eliminate the gimlet bits. Roka is starting to make Maria panic. We flash back to Curtis talking to Font. He tells him that he doesn't think that he is a new type. He is a super genius and can use technology better than most. This goes against the message that new types come in all shapes and sizes. But then the writer contradicts himself by having Curtis say that evolution comes in strange ways. I don't know what that was all about. Moving on, 12 minutes until Manzana floor reaches Angel Halo. The Midas attacks Font as he approaches the bridge of the Manzana floor. He is making the crew watch as he kills him. Bell realizes that Font isn't going to go all out until he knows that she and the crew are safe. Bell uses her new type powers to reach out to Font. She says to not worry, and the crew can save themselves. Jack takes on the Midas while Ghost Gundam slides low, dodging them and rushing towards the bridge. He slices the bridge. Bell jumps out and gets into Ghost Gundam's gel cockpit. She goes, "Ew, it's sticky in here." The Manzana floor navigator rushes to the computer but is shot. The crew takes control of the bridge while chaos ensues. The navigator is trying to change course, but it's locked to the Midas. They have to destroy the mobile suit to change course. I feel like if you destroy it though, you'd be locked completely out of the system. The navigator with the broccoli cut dies. Oh, not the youth. Kizo can see that there is a black Victory Gundam head inside the sensor. The sensor eyes in all 3 units have a 2-sensor system, which help to bypass the virus. All this to make the Gundams a part of the Uchiha clan, apparently. This causes Font's brain to overclock once again. The ship increases speed as the battle continues. Try not to fall into the beam cells. Instant vaporization. At least it'll be instant death. Font plans on ramming his 2 eye fields into the Midas's cockpit. The ship is able to break off from Earth's orbit, and most likely isn't going to converge with Angel Halo. Font acts like a guy who did acid for the first time. The connections, man. It all makes sense. The Divinidad does a giant suplex on the Chaosarel. It kills Roka, but also destroys the Chaosarel as well. Also, the translator on Manga Dex calls her kosher. That's the other guy. Step up your game, whoever edited this. Font looks over to see that Angel Halo is breaking apart. As his brain is overclocked, he thinks of the political dominoes that are about to fall over. And then he gets it. This is how the world works. It all sucks. Jack Friday fights Kizo while Font snaps out of it, but he is too late as he shreds through the Desvis torso with the Kaiser staff. Jack falls off the ship. He thinks of Mermaid and his sister before his mobile suit explodes. In a fit of rage, Ghost Gundam begins punching the Midas. Font tells him not to mock people's lives. He is mad because Jack Friday was changing for the good. He was trying to be a better person, and Kizo ruined any chance of that happening. He pulls out the Kujaku. Font's moving so fast that he doesn't realize how much pain he is in. Maria and the sidechickers are all still alive. They're informed that Maria Pure Harmonia and Kagari has fallen. This infuriates Kizo. He was the one who wanted to kill him, and now he can't seek revenge. They pass by the broken up Angel Halo missing the target. Ghost Gundam and Midas race towards one another. Kizo's Kaiser staff and Font's Kujaku break on impact. Font then uses his salvos and Minovsky drive fire and throws it towards Kizo's mobile suit. The Midas tries to stab Ghost, but he ducks and then activates his eye fields while covering his beam cannons and fires. This is able to penetrate the beam manteau. Both of the cockpits break open. Font's letter to his parents and Belle's bunny float out into space. Kizo's cockpit is open as well and looks critically injured. Font just stares at him, and the Midas falls. Maria El Tamo was watching the fight. They have lost, so she decides to go full Phil Hartman's wife and take out all the sidechickers and herself. Font looks over to find them all sludgified. On the circus mothership, Curtis wakes up. That is when Font contacts them. The cockpit hatch is ripped open, so they will be ripped apart, and the Minovsky drive is out of juices. All the escape pods are in Angel Call infected areas. His only plan is to use a cryopod. They will break apart if they slow down, but if they veer off a few degrees, they will head towards Venus, slingshot around, then head back to Earth, where it will rotate around Earth and the Moon. It is then up to Curtis to find them. Curtis finally tells Belle that he is her father. She, of course, already knew. The two escape in the cryopod. Harado tells them they will fall asleep in 3 minutes. Before he does, he is able to see time flow. They thought that they would be welcomed by familiar faces, but they were unfortunately awakened by space pirates. Not the good ones. They realize that they have been asleep for 15 years. UC-168. They are thrown into the brig. Font was expecting 3 or 4 years, but something must have gone wrong. Everything that they once knew is gone as well. The two are taken to the hangar, where Phantom has been repaired with old parts. They are on the hunt for Jupiter's treasure. Certainly this can't be what they are looking for. Because of this, space pirates from across the Earth sphere search for the treasure. So Font and Belle are the one piece. 2 pieces. He thought after the collapse of Zanskar, there would be peace amongst the colonies. There isn't war, but everyone seems to be out for themselves. He wasn't expecting history to play out this way. Another space pirate gang called the Red Hyena Gang is surrounding their ship. The captain is going to give him an escape pod so they could survive. The captain says that 15 years ago, a mobile suit like this one saved his life from the guillotine. He was one of the children. He is repaying his life debts. Font has become a legend like the space pirates before him. The captain says that their pastor told him that there is no heaven or hell, just like Jack Friday. He shakes the captain, demanding to know who this pastor is. Jack is still alive. They are all out there somewhere. It is up to them to find their friends. Mobile suits surround the space pirates. He decides to get into Phantom. The captain realizes Font really is the same guy from that day 15 years ago. He now calls the Gundam Phantom once again, for he and Belle are now the ghosts. And that will conclude Mobile Suit Crossbone Gundam Ghost. The dream of peace didn't go as Font expected, but he seems determined to still make this a reality. The sense of wonder and adventure is really something Hasegawa does best. It's worth it at the expense of having weird mobile suits. Now that we have ended the Zanskar War, we have entered the age of colonial civil war. No one works together anymore. Technology regresses, and the Earth sphere plunges into turmoil. Next time, we will jump 1 year ahead to UC-169 as we begin our coverage of Crossbone Gundam Dust. Here, we will meet Ash King. That's right. The kid with the lips that Font saved gets an adventure of his own. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, don't go overclocking your brain. Peace.